Do you want to grow as a grower? Are you tired of being put to sleep by your educational growcasts? Are you tired of hearing about products you don't fucking want and can't afford? Are you tired of being told how you should grow? Hi, I'm Johnny Apple, and joining me is everyone's favorite amphibian, the Reverend Pirate Frog. Join us as we sift through the bullshit on the internet and try to get better as growers. This is your average grow.
Hey, dude.
Hey, man, what's up?
Not much. We haven't talked, just the two of us, in a while.
Yeah, that's the truth. We keep getting guests because we're too lazy.
I know, but I figured this time we would just rekindle our romance. So basically, I'm going to talk at you for a little while, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
I have a very exciting update. I know I said it on the circle, but Marley went 112 days, and she's now been chopped, so she's almost been drying for a week. So that's super exciting, and I'm doing my hard reset this weekend. Cleaning up everything finally and getting prepared and finally entering the Mango Smile grow together.
What the hell with that Marley's, dude? Do you have any idea on why it went so long? Is it just the genetics of it? Is it the heritage?
Yeah, it has a lot to do with its genetics, and in conversations with a lot of people smarter than me, and Big Green Guy as well. Did you see what I did there? No, he was explaining there's how different pot sizes, different pot shapes, and materials and stuff change the grow time in his autos, and he's grown so many that he could pretty much be a one-man study. So I think that played a part, but obviously genetics, and she loved life, man. I don't blame her.
Just didn't want to die and wanted to keep going. Yeah,
man. It was all three of my plants that I grew went long. So 92 days and then 112. So it's definitely cool. It was my first grow in the earth box, right? So
yeah,
I did it basically with your encouragement, and I got to say that's the way I'm going to grow now.
They're fucking super easy, man. They're nice.
They're really nice, and we both, you and I, had some shit come up in this grow, like in our personal lives, and we didn't have to stress about watering our shit, so that's always nice.
That's very nice. No bullshit there.
Yeah, and and the more honest point, some days you just fucking get high and don't want to water shit, so it's nice not to have to worry.
Exactly. You don't even have to open your tent some days with those.
I don't.
Realistic, like if you just watered and your watering schedule, hell, half the time I've probably opened my clone tent at least every day because that needs attention, but that, like anything with an earth box, every couple days maybe.
Yeah, I will always open my tent at least once a day because I got to take my super time-consuming photo that I snap in the morning,
for your time lapse.
For my time lapse, and then I close it, and I pretty much, that's it. If everything's going well, it's best not to, right? Consistency is key.
For sure. Absolutely. I definitely found that, like, if you can find how much water they need, how often, if you give them to them that way every single time, they enjoy that a lot. And that's what makes the earth boxes completely nice for exactly that reason. Yeah,
it's super fun. And, I went off of conversations talking to you, growing with you, and build a soil videos, and I'm really kind of stayed baseline with that, so I'm really excited in these coming grows to experiment and see what happens.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's certain plants that I'm going to grow that I will never experiment with, like something I'm excited for, like this galaxy brain that I'm going to grow. Like, I'm not going to fuck with her. I'll keep the normal way that I know works, but there'll be some other stuff that I'll experiment with,
So you got Galaxy Brain on your lineup. I know you got the Mango Smile. You usually run 3, right?
Yeah. I'm doing the Juicy from our buddy Alebrije.
Nice.
I know. I was super excited about that. And then he's done like what feels like 30 drops in the meantime, and I, trying to grow every one of his drops because he's one of my friends and he grows amazing stuff. But he's outpacing me like so quickly.
What? So normally you don't grow. What's the word I'm looking for? A calming effect strain. What made you want to grow the Juicy? Just because it's a hybrid, or?
The Juicy's still Durban, dude. It's Durban times or it's Durban by Durban. It's actually the more Durban of the tangy.
Oh, so you think the Juicy's going to be lean more on the uplifting effects?
Yeah, it'll be more narrow leaf for sure.
Oh no shit! I intentionally passed up on the Juicy for that reason because it was a hybrid. I guess I screwed up there.
I
thought you told me it was a hybrid.
I did not. I told you it was Durban. I told you it was the more pure Durban, dude.
What was the hybrid then?
Blue.
The blue Zoroso. That's what I'm thinking of, is the Zoroso. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You're talking.
I'm not. When I do grow the blue Zoroso or whatever, and whatever more broadleaf varieties he has, I'm gonna steal his technique of the all the flavors in the box, man. Have you seen what he did?
Bunch of like 3 plants in an earth box, right?
Yeah. I figured if I'm gonna do some broadleaf, I'll hammer out all of those. And they're gonna be amazing because they're his, but I'll do it all at once so I don't have to string it out too long, so I can get back to growing what the medicine that I need.
Word. Yeah, you use wide leaf sometimes, right? Like for sleep and stuff. So it's not like it goes to waste.
Oh, absolutely not. I appreciate good weed, but I have no issue falling asleep.
Word.
I can fall asleep like any car ride. I could fall asleep if I wanted, but
what about staying asleep?
I'm just good, I guess. I get a good sleep pattern. It also helps that I quit drinking, so everything kind of hard reset.
Yeah, that's fair enough point.
But I sleep. I don't sleep very often. I probably get like 6 to 7, sometimes 8 hours of sleep. But when I'm
always embarrassed because I'm 3 hours ahead of you and you're always up before me. I'm like, how in the fuck does that even happen? Half the time we're texting each other, all right, man, I'll catch you tomorrow. Like, shut the fuck up already. I got to go spend time with the wife.
Yeah.
And then you're always up before me. I'm embarrassed. I'm like, how in the fuck does this guy do that?
Well, there's multiple reasons. On the weekends especially, it's my time. I like to wake up early before Megan and just chill out, catch up on a lot of stuff, watch some videos, listen to music. And that's usually when I do a lot of my gardening. If I have anything major, I try and put it off for that early mornings. And then other times it's just because you got to get up early to beat the crowds in the water, man. You have no option.
That's right.
You have to outperform, It sucks. I wish I could be lazy, but
bird gets the worm.
Yeah, and it also works because I get to work an earlier schedule. So like my boss is super cool about accommodating my schedule. So it's like I'm already up. I can get the work done. So I don't ever work later than 3.
Nice.
3:30. Yeah. So.
Hell yeah. That totally makes it worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm a fair amount of time.
Yeah, I get to take my dog out in our little nature walks, and I got to tell you, man, this week's been particularly great. I've sampled the Queen's Banner twice now, and the Tangy a couple times on my walk with my dog. But holy shit, dude, Queen's Banner is phenomenal. Daz does amazing work.
That's crazy. Tell me about the effects. Tell me about the flavors. I say flavors, but the terpenes.
Well, like I said, I've only had like 2 joints and haven't properly given it the test it deserves because I've been walking my dog, But it tastes really good, very floral, and it's beautiful. It's really dark, almost purple on the grind. Nice. And it's gorgeous dark. I love the greens in it too. But the effects are fucking amazing. I was talking to Artificial about it, and we shared our stories, and they were very similar. But it's just super uplifting and creative. But it's just visual too. You know, everything's really sharp. Like everything's fucking beautiful. Like it's perfect for a dog walk. Like I walked my dog twice today, right? Because I hit Tangy in the morning, and then, or not in the morning, but after work, and then right before we recorded, I went again and hit Queens or whatever, reverse the order. I don't remember, but you know, it's absolutely perfect. And then Tangy is just a stress reliever. Alabrije does great work, and surprise, but we're having him on the podcast here soon, and then he's going to be on the circle following up. So I'm really excited because he deserves all the praise we keep heaping on him. But it's a stress reliever, man, and it's so tropical, and it just so sweet, but also has a very like musky. I get a musky on the exhale a lot, but it's just, man, it's just such a great daytime strain. Like I'm remembering it fondly, and I have plenty of jars. I'll put it that way.
So you would say it's Tropifowl.
Tropifowl. That's brilliant. I like that.
I like that. Yeah,
Man, you're a genius.
Right off the top of my head right there. You see how I did that?
It's nothing off the top of your head, dude.
Tropifowl. No, because like it seems like a lot of his, like even the Tangy is still that. It's some tropical stuff. So that Queen's Banner is nice to see that. That's got some Tropifowl to it too.
Yeah, and you had the bubblegum queen, right?
The bubblegum queen was very, very sweet. I didn't have Tropifowl to it.
Yeah, but it was, but still, like it was a similar effect, right? Like very uplifting and creative. He does great work, and I think there will always be a spot in my tent for his stuff. Obviously, I call him the autoflower prophet. You know, he's a genius, and I appreciate it. But yeah, he'll always have a spot in my tent, and specifically the narrow leaf stuff is just phenomenal. I mean, all of it's good, but yeah, I'm excited for that. And then the Mango Smile, of course, growing together with my friends and all the people that listen is awesome. I'm going to be the last to plant because of Marley, so if I end up with another super long pheno, it'll be fun, man.
So your tents are empty now.
Yes, except for the dry tent. I have one more week of drying.
Okay, so what do you got to do? You got to clean that one tent up, or are you just waiting to plant them all at the same time?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So next weekend's my plant is when I plant everything, because I'll finish the dry, and then immediately I'll have everything ready, and then I'll start my process of the plant. Well, I'll start my process of the acclimatization. I just fucking butchered that word. Acclimatizing them to the environment. I will do my standard practice of doing the 10% saturation, and then waiting 48 hours, and then planting.
Cool. Very cool. So you're going
and
direct.
we'll talk.
So are you giving any soak this time, or are you going just right out of the container right into the soil?
Oh, I'm going, I'll soak it. I will direct sow, of course. And then I'll soak my seeds for overnight, however long, that is basically before I go to bed and when I wake up.
Cool.
And
so whatever it ends up being, it's obviously more than 4 hours. So usually at least 4, less than 12-ish.
Yeah. And that's my lab's aloe solution. Maybe I add some stuff, if not, charging next to my arc crystal configurations that I have, and then I plant that after into the soil, and then I just mist the top till about day 10, 13, 14, 15, depending on what the soil looks like. Maybe add a little tiny drink here and there, but not too much.
Right. Nice. Hell yeah.
That's how simple it is, man.
I dig it. Now, what about your worm bins?
Oh, dude, stoked on those. I just bought my second pound of worms last weekend. I think so.
For
Yeah.
the not for your frog one, right? You got a
No,
new one
no.
you built. You want to talk about that one yet?
Yeah, yeah. So I bought the second pound of worms, and I put them in a little tote, right? Because I wanted to do a continuous flow through, like yours, like the urban worm bin.
Yep.
Because since you got me one and we did the episode, and even before we did the episode, I've just been hooked on learning about it. It's been a rabbit hole, and it's just super interesting stuff. And I'm like, man, this is all pretty straightforward. So I was like, I want a continuous flow one, with the ultimate idea of having different bins to do my vegetative, and then another bin to do my flower, and mix and match and all that fun stuff that you can do with patience and time. And so I was getting my second one, and I had it in a bin, and I was looking at how much they were and stuff, and I was like, fuck. And I came across a video that suggested making one out of a trash can, and I just so happened to have a trash can in my garage that I was planning at one time to make like a space toad out of, just to grow a small plant in a concealed little space toad just for the hell of it,
Okay. Yeah.
But I was like, it's too much work. And at the end of the day, I just like, man, if I'm going to grow something, I want to do it at least somewhat properly. Just because if I'm going to spend the money, right? Like electricity ain't cheap where I'm at. So if I'm going to grow a plant, I might as well get the best I can out of it. So I scrapped that idea. So I've had that bin for I've probably had that bin for like a year or two. And so I looked at this video, and I was like, shit, that's a great idea. So I made my own little continuous flow through worm bin.
Fuck yeah, man.
I posted pictures in the Discord, and I'll post the link to the video that I saw, and I'll also tell you what my worm guy told me. The worm farm that's near my house, he showed me the one that he had, and he had a badass one, dude. Like, he had a full customized one that he put a lot of time in, and I was like, man, that's not worth it. Like, as our buddy Monster says, juice ain't worth the squeeze. And
Right.
But then I saw this other video, and it made it a lot easier.
Word. Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, so that's I've got all that info in the Discord. But yeah, so that's where my second so I got my second bin going. And then when I was going through my other earth boxes, they had been going for so long that there was now an established colony in there. So I've got another tote that I plan on adding another tote to. So I've got 3 worm bins now, all because you sent me one.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I started you down the spiral.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good path to fucking go down, though. I enjoy my worm bins, man. It's nice to have like the place to put your table scraps and stuff, and just making your own worm castings. It's relatively easy, and it's pretty rewarding too when you finally get to sift them.
Yeah, I really look forward to that. And it's also super cool because at work we have so many cardboard boxes and stuff that we can use as bedding and all the stuff there that is just, it's nice to have one there too, in addition to our greenhouse and everything. It makes so much sense.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. What about your labs too? You still doing labs?
Always.
How often do you have to do those?
Well, I make a lot at a time because the idiots that designed the drain in this apartment, I hope they rot in hell for eternity. I know that Lord Frog doesn't believe in hell, but I personally am hoping so. But anywho, so I use it a lot to clear drains. So I make way too much of it. But yes, I'm constantly cycling through it. So I constantly have labs. Right now I have I'm making some fermented plant juice and getting ready to plant and stuff. So
Didn't you say you were starting in bokashi too?
I am, but that's not actually what I was talking about recently. I was talking about I'm making my own mustard seed meal.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah, because my buddy has a farm in a town in San Diego County. I don't want to blow him up. I was just going to be quick with that information. And he had a whole bunch of yellow mustard seed. And so we're going to crush it and get some meal out of it. And then we're also going to grow a bunch of alfalfa to make our own alfalfa meal. So,
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, some fun. Who knows if it'll be any good. he's very talented and very, very organic. Like when I say very organic, I mean he is crunchy, like way too crunchy for my liking, but he's a good dude and I love him to death.
Like very strict by the rules. Like, no, this is
Yeah,
dress
like
right, dress organic.
like full, like if in a perfect world and if he could survive on it, he would probably only eat fruit that had fallen from the tree naturally, like as long as a worm hadn't touched it first, because it would have been there, right? That kind of guy, like unachievable.
Yeah, no way.
Basically who you think of when you think of a Californian.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so that's all I've got going in my garden. I feel like I talked way too much about myself, so I got a few questions for you, actually.
Well, this is a two-person show, man. I mean,
I know, that's why I get to flip it to you.
it can't all be Johnny. I know that's what the people want, but
It
we
is.
got to be fair.
We have to give the people what they want. All of the comments on our new YouTube channel that we started, if looking at a static image with audio over it is your thing, boy, have I got something for you.
Oh, boy, do ya.
Go to the Your Average Grow podcast. I think it's Your Average Grow. Just Your Average Grow. I should be the one who knows that.
Yeah, you should, because you created it.
I know. Anywho, it's all caught up now, and it will be posted there in unison as long as I can remember.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I noticed there was a couple people already on it. Hell, the merch episode, I already had like 22 episodes. I was like, holy cow, people actually do want to listen on YouTube.
Yeah, it's some people's thing. It's great. So we have to give them what they want, and they want you. So first question, how is the powdery, okay, I'm giving up, the PM issue. I can't say that word.
I haven't seen any.
Good.
I haven't sprayed again. I look every single day at everything. I check the leaves. I check everything. I'm not seeing any powdery mildew issues anywhere. So that's
excellent.
Yep.
Well, that's solved. And then I have to ask, you look like one of your beds, like you had way too much time on your hand one afternoon.
My beds or my dad's beds?
Oh, yes, it was your dad's bed. That's right. You got off lucky. Yeah.
What you're talking about.
So can you explain the reasoning and perhaps explain the thinking? I guess I asked you that question two fucking ways. Just what went through your mind, dude? I love it. I think you're going to achieve great things, but it does look like you went psycho for a minute.
Man, how do I even explain this story? Well, let me start with a puff of tangy Tibaguana F1, and we'll tell this Stony Alpinist style. So let's go ahead and fire this back up. It seems to have went out. So what had happened was something pretty similar. I think it was strawberry cough. My dad happened to have some strawberry cough. No, I brought some tangy Tibaguana over to him, and we had a session. And after that session, I said, "Let's go look at the skunks." So we went and looked at the skunks to see how well they were doing.
It was Tangy's fault.
It was absolutely Tangy's fault. I will say that. Yeah,
that's totally fair.
Yeah. So we went upstairs, and that's his grow area is upstairs.
Yeah.
And I really just wanted to look at some stuff, but Tangy just put me to work, man. I said, go get me a pair of scissors. He put a pair of scissors in my hand, and I was all right, I'm going to take cuts. I needed to take the cuts, and I knew I wanted to take them from the top. So that way I could kind of train everything out a little bit more. So I took all the cuts for the clones to run the cloner from the top sites, and I was like, all right, well, I can leave it like this, or I can get the scrog net on. And so I started in the 4x4, and after I got all my cuts, I put the scrog net on and started working with that. And then I looked over at his 2x4 that has one plant in it, and I was like, well, the easy way to go here is to probably just draw some strings, because the screws were already screwed into the trellis net, the PVC. So because they were already there, I was like, well, the easiest way is to just bend these where I need them and run the strings where I needed them. Well, that turned into some serious bonsai shit because I turned the lights down to stretch this up some more so I could bend it over because it was one plant in a rectangular shape.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed to get some length on the outside branches to bend them down so that I could get the training properly in a 2x4. So that light being turned down made them really stretchy and bendy, and one thing turned into another, and it made a fucking bonsai plant out of this 2x4 with one skunk.
It's incredible. It's like a full-grown bonsai tree in a windscape.
Exactly. That's the only thing I could. That's why I fucking tagged Stony and Kotz. Like, you guys' bonsai don't have shit on Tangy Tibaguana fucking stoned.
It's beautiful, man. I love it. I can't wait to see as it progresses.
I texted him earlier. He's not home at the moment because I wanted a picture because I wanted it fucking like the next day to see if everything brought back us. Because I had some that were facing damn near downwards that I knew were gonna come back up and be even, but yeah, man, there was some serious Tangy Tibaguana fucking training going on in that tent.
I love it. I can't wait to, I'm still a few days short of actually this weekend I can break into the Jersey of my weird manic neurotic bullshit with waiting 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
So I can finally dive in this weekend and get creative and smoke on it in longer sessions than just a dog walk. So I'm very excited.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Especially if you're like, you're mobile or immobile, I mean, but you're doing something in a focused area. Dude, she will send you down a path.
I'm really excited. Really excited. I really wish I would have waited to do or had scheduled something creative to do this weekend, but she's going to help with a lot of chores, so that'll be good.
Oh, that works too, because it gets your chores done like to completion. I find I have a hard time sometimes like completing something, but this is just like you. Puts me in. Yeah, not
dude.
me.
I'm the same way. Same way, except for I come from it more as get it half-assed, and that's good enough.
Yeah, like good enough.
Yeah, good enough.
What's wrong with good enough? But Tangy has really been helping me fucking like finish some shit.
Isn't it amazing what good medicine will do?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. So speaking of good medicine, why don't I just do a tent tour? We'll fucking I'll guide everyone around my tents now that we're done talking about the skunks.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, because they look great. I got one pheno in there that looks a little weird. She's not the healthiest, but to me, it's like everybody else looks healthy enough. Everybody else is doing good, so it's just like I'll flower her out, man. If she's got great flower, I'll try something different, but most likely she's just not going to be the keeper because if everybody else is doing okay in that same environment, then she's too finicky for me. So
yeah, I mean, that just makes
unless she's got just
sense.
like killer flower, I still took cuts, but I got my eye on number 1 and number 10 right now of the 5 of the females of the skunks that we got.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see where you go with this project.
I am too, because like these are good genetics that I definitely want to keep around to do some serious shit with. Like the banana milk, I'll start right here with the banana milks, I guess. Yeah. The banana milks, I just took the cuts. They're already rooted in solo cups, but like that's just in case I find something terpy flavored or the medicine ends up being more incredible than I was anticipating, because I think this is going to be more sedating effect. But like the skunks, I think is going to be totally different. I think it's going to be not so sedating, but I just don't know. But I like that they're a truer genetic. Like they're not polyhybrids.
Yeah.
So
you have something you can narrow down, right?
Yeah.
There's
to
less...
like to being bred with like the beginning of being bred with intention.
Yeah.
So there's less manipulation in the skunks than there would be in these banana milks.
But you never know, because sometimes you find the best stuff and stuff people would have tossed, man.
Yeah. I'll agree with that for sure. But so yeah, the banana milk tent is looking really good. It's a
It's a beautiful
4x4, and I managed to get it pretty well filled out the way I like. The one pheno ended up being a female, which was fucking great because I love the way that she grows. So I'm hoping that she's got something special because she's the one I want to keep because I like the way she trains. She's very easy. It looks like she's going to be easy to trim. Whereas the other ones just stayed short, stocky. They look like they're going to have big, thick colas, which I can tend to have a problem with. We'll go into that. Oh, we already went into that in the circle.
Yeah.
I got a little like mold issue drying those bigger donkey dick looking colas. So
Well, you
I
didn't have
prefer
any air
smaller golf
movement.
ball. That too.
Yeah,
That too,
I mean,
but it didn't affect the Tangy that had more
No.
golf ball size nugs.
That's-
It affected the ones that were like big donkey dick ones and the smaller Tangies.
yeah. It's more mass, right?
Yeah. And this one stretched too. That I like it stretched to reach up towards the light, which I like them to do to get towards the light because they're losing the amount of light they were getting beforehand. If you think about it, they were getting 18.6 at the same part because I'm running 100%. So
Well,
if they
also say about
stretch
the-
up to get closer to that light, it's better. But if they don't, I don't want to move my lights down. So I like a strain that will fucking stretch up to those lights.
Yeah. I will also say about the banana milk, the one strain that you like, you liked it so much that you were like, "Fuck, it's a male."
Yeah.
That's always a good sign.
Yeah. I was butthurt about that being a male. But it's funny too is because I number them the way they come up usually from the solo cup when I start a photo. I number them like, all right, you were number 1 up through, or I had 2 come up at the same time, but this one looks a little bit bigger or it's open a little bit wider or something like that. I number them right off the get-go. And this tent is the first time I can still tell which plant was which from the absolute beginning to the end. It literally went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see the amount of stretch and turgor that each plant still has. Like the number 4 is still the shortiest, stockiest fucking plant. It's funny it happened to turn out that way this time.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's funny. But I do have backups of each single one. I was only able to get 1 cut before flipping these girls to flower off that number 4 just because everything was still short branched and it wasn't worth taking a cut off of anything else. So I took 1 cut and prayed that it rooted. It rooted, but I have at least 2 of every other one of the phenos. So
Good.
that are already rooted in solo cups. They look fucking great and they're doing good.
Excellent.
Yeah, the skunks are in the easy cloner. They're like 2 days in now, so there's not too much to report on those. I planted another mango smile seed.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do instead of direct sow like last time I didn't. I soaked, and then I went direct sow. There's something going on with that. I think I overwatered or it was already too wet. Something isn't happy because it's just a real short, stocky 14, 15-day plant that I'm not happy with.
It looks identical to the way my Marley started, and I've shown you pictures at days. And Howling had the same thing, where like I can dig up pictures because that's the benefit of taking a picture every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I know that it's so and so on this date, I can figure it out. But when I sent you that picture, it was fucking identical on the same day.
Yeah, day 10 or whatever.
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
So I think it's just the genes, dude. Because if you swap those two around, you couldn't tell the difference, man.
I agree. Didn't your Marleys also do something similar to what my Top Gun did, though? Didn't it go through like that, hey, I'm a photo, no, I'm not a photo fucking phase, and it raged? Or was it just slow the whole fucking time?
It was just slow, and then like it was steadily slow.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Okay.
it just went like it looks like it jumped up, but if you watch the time lapse, it actually just like it's just on a weirder schedule. It's just slowed down. It didn't just go from like nothing to huge. It just took way longer.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a slow burn, you know. I mean, Mango Smile is known for going long.
Well, this one might This one might beat your Marleys.
Let's hope so, man. That'd be great.
But because I wasn't sure, and it just it looks overwatered. The leaves are a little like thick looking, like they've got enough fucking water, that's for sure. I just wasn't sure. I need to get the medicine, so I started another seed in a solo cup to see what it's going to do in the next fucking 10, 14 days. I also started, you sent me a 3-pack of the fucking Hella Jellies. I also started one of those because it's going to kind of be like, it's going to be a race to see who's going to get this fucking Earth box with the mango smile I have in the Earth box already. That's on like day 14, 15, something like that. The new seed that I planted that I broke the fucking taproot on, the tip on, because I put it in the cotton swabs and it grew in underneath for whatever reason. I haven't never had this happen with these cotton swabs. Well, it happened this time, and me trying to get it back out of there, I snapped just the fucking tiniest tip off of that taproot.
That's why I don't like fucking with seeds, dude. I can't do delicate shit. I fumble like an idiot.
And the thing is, I have that fucking the honor seed starting mat, but it was like one seed, and I was like, I don't want to fucking break the mat out for one seed because it's a big one.
Yeah,
but
I
direct sowed the Hella Jelly.
Smart.
And I think what's going to happen is that's going to get the brand new Earth box.
You went into a
solo cup. Oh yeah, solo cup.
Okay, sorry.
I start all my photos in a solo cup.
That's just, I don't know why I assumed differently. I was just like, well, I'll tell you why. I'm very high. I've gone on 2 walks today.
Yeah, I keep lighting. I'm smoking one of the F1s. I think it was Pheno 1.
I like it, man. I'm super glad. I kid you not. Like, I really wanted a cross a Tangy and that Marley's. So I'm really glad that Mac and Kotz are both going to work on it because it makes life so much easier. So no, I did not direct sow right into the Earth box. I went right into the solo cup. But I didn't even soak it, did I? No, I didn't even soak it. I planted direct right into the solo cup. Nice.
So, yep.
And what kind of soil is in the solo cup? What did you do? Plant it in?
That same seedling mix that I made for myself.
Okay, cool.
Yep, it was the same thing I had for the banana milk start. I'm pretty sure. Either way, that's what the clones are in right now. Everything seems to be okay with this mix so far.
Good.
Except for the mango smile that's in the Earth box in the same seedling mix. Just a dug out area of the center of it because it was a quote unquote no-till. We'll call it no-till-ish or low-till. But I took I took the root ball out of the center and scooped out a bunch of the soil that was there to put some seedling mix in there for the softer start for an autoflower. I was thinking that was going to be the way to go, but apparently this is just still slow.
Maybe if you did make a mistake watering it, it's because you hadn't gotten used to watering that seedling starter yet.
Yeah, I'm used to watering it in the solo cup where I can pick up the solo cup, look at the plant and everything. That's why I start my photos that way. I'm thinking for me that might be the way. That's why I wanted to plant the new mango smile in a solo cup and start it that way.
Well, I know that Captain Autoflower has a very good way to do it. And I believe it's on his
ironically, I did it exactly that way, the 2 solo cup method, yeah.
I am incapable of doing it that way, not because I stand firm in not transplanting autos or anything, but because I would fuck it up so quickly. I'm fucking everything up. So I'm just trying to find a way that works for me. Yeah, exactly. That's
even the direct sow seems to be I'm fucking up. I cannot start an autoflower for the fucking life of me, man.
I don't know that it is. Whenever I have to transplant into the garden, like out like a vegetable garden or anything like that, right? I inevitably fuck it up. So if I had to do that with a seedling, it would be only worse because, as my beautiful partner always says, I am like a big dumb ape sometimes. I am not I'm a very clumsy man.
So I don't really struggle with the transplants though.
Good. I mean, I'm glad. Lucky
I
you.
mean,
Are you
with
rubbing it in, you son
no,
of
no,
a
no, no,
bitch?
no. I'm autos. I might absolutely. I wouldn't like.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
with photos,
wouldn't
I
say
do.
with that. I'm talking
I
about
could,
like the vegetable
no,
garden and stuff. Yeah, I
I
didn't
fuck them
mean to
up.
say.
Yeah.
I could do it. You can't do
Yeah,
it.
but what the fuck? You can't do it, you piece of shit. No, I'm sorry, man. I can. Okay, like with photos, I absolutely transplant, right? But
Hmm.
the reason I don't mention it is because isn't that pretty much standard protocol for most people to at least transplant, right?
I think it. Well,
I mean, I know,
probably. I
I
think
know,
most people will start photos at least in a solo cup or something
yeah,
smaller and at least transplant one time.
yeah,
I would
yeah.
think.
That I would think that's standard protocol. But yeah, I mean, even transplanting like transplanting photos, you never have to worry because they're so fucking easy that like even if you do shock the shit out of it, you could probably bring it back pretty easily.
Mhm.
Um, but with
It's just gonna wait
vegetables,
around for the ideal commercial. Like they're
yeah,
hard to kill.
yes they are.
That's the thing.
But
Like
with
you can
vegetables,
keep
like
them.
you know how you get them in those stupid plastic trays and shit like that.
Hmm.
Like I can never gracefully remove them, so that's why with autos I never do, right? Because it's just no matter how easy you make it for me, I will either get impatient or just not care enough or get lazy and fuck it up somehow.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm talking purely for myself, so there's no
No,
maybe
I know.
about it,
Yeah,
but yeah.
no, I mean, maybe I can see it. You being a big fucking goofball
Oh,
and
absolutely.
just fucking tearing those big ginger hands like through a plastic pot. Yeah, I can see it.
It's easy. Yeah, I do trip over my feet sometimes, but 13 and a half, dude, they do that.
Jesus Christ, you're a giant.
Ball player, dude. Um,
Ball playing surf. No wonder you surf. You can fucking wrap your toes around the board.
yeah. Surprisingly graceful. I longboard, so surprisingly good at that. Basketball and volleyball, it's not amazing. Obviously, I'm a 6'2" white dude. I'm not like killing it on the basketball court, but you know, I was surprisingly graceful for being able to do that and skate, but still clumsy as shit on my feet, dude.
Fuck yeah. I am clumsy with everything, man. Everything I touch, I'm fucking dropping at some point or
Yeah,
something or other. It's
I
like,
get
come
so
on.
frustrated dropping things that it's become a problem sometimes where I'm like, you need to calm down. The
Yeah.
universe isn't making you drop things. Like you
It's
are just clumsy.
gravity.
Yeah,
It's okay.
exactly. Calm down. I'll just be like, why is this happening? Like, because that's the natural way, dude. If you drop something, it's gonna fall. But yeah, sorry, we've only gotten to like 2 of your tents.
Ah, shit. That's the whole point, man. It's the whole point.
Well, we
So
haven't talked to each other all week because we've been saving it for the podcast.
we've been
Now
really good with that this week
Yeah,
because we
I
knew it was
know.
going to be just us. So it's just like, fuck it. Well, yeah. So, no, but then, that hella jelly is in a solo cup. I didn't soak. I went just fucking right seed to solo cup.
Fuck yeah.
I got a dome over top of it, just another white plastic cup. That's been in there the 2 days now. And that one is gonna go in that brand new earth box. With the Build a Soil Light, I am going to when the mystery mescla seed is finished, I'm going to grow one plant in an earth box in a 2x4. One
Hell
photo of
yes.
that hella jelly. So
I can't wait to watch you scrog that motherfucker up, dude.
yeah, I can't wait. That's gonna be fun. In a fucking earth box to fill a 2x4 with one plant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna
I
be fun.
think so easily done too, and when done, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Especially
Yep.
those shaded shots.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm excited. Your
We'll do
skill
something
growing
later.
and with photography, shit.
I hope so. That's my goal here. Get that one finished up and then do that. Breaking news, I did get the delivery from the Real Green Monster. He had
Oh,
the
hell
10
yeah.
pack of the Hella Jellies he had picked up at the expo for me. Those came in as
Nice.
well, so I am going to get 4 of those started in a solo cup in the next probably week or so. Because I got that one, the last 4x4 we're going to talk about is the 4x4 with the soil sample bed. I sent that soil sample off. But that's where the 4 Hella Jellies are going to go in that bed. We could talk about the soil sample here, but that's where the White Widow Auto is right now.
Yeah, and you're just waiting for her to fucking finish, right?
Yep. So I'm trying to time that. I want to be like maybe 2 weeks. 2, maybe 3 weeks in the solo cup. So I'm trying to time the end of that coming down to be able to put in these right in. So
Nice.
What I've done to prepare that happening is we got the soil sample done. I got the wrong one, or I got the right one, but I didn't get another one that I also needed. I needed a baseline test. I got the saturated paste test. What the saturated paste test tells me is what is available essentially right now, what my pH of the soil is, what's high, what's low, and they have just a simple fucking Word document that says an ideal percentage range. And I can just simply compare to that, and that's exactly what I did. What I noticed is everything's very readily available. Everything's high right now in a percentage availability, except my calcium was low. So what I did is I added some fucking gypsum, some calcium, and I think it was bone meal too. It was something from Roots Organic. I think it's Elements or something.
Okay.
But it has a calcium source. So I took that because I have it available. I sprinkled that on top. I planted some cover crop, and I'm just waiting for this White Widow to finish.
Nice.
And based on that, just doing that alone, something happened with that White Widow. It seemed to fucking get happy again. It was
Probably
kind of
got
like
the calcium it wanted, right?
yeah, it was like and once it got that calcium, it was like, oh, okay, I'm ready to finish now. So it's going through that plump up phase.
Good.
So based on that, like additional plumping phase, that second regrowth, I'm thinking I'm maybe a month out.
Right on.
Yeah, just guessing. But I took some trichome shots. I could only be 2 weeks too, so I got to get some more trichome shots because it's been about 2 weeks since then.
Well, I'm really excited about this Hella Jelly too, because it's going to be the right medicine hopefully for you. But I'm just really excited to see what you do now that you've got your full arsenal. You got them all.
Yeah, man, I got everything fucking lined up. Everything lined up between the pack you gifted me, the pack I got from Monster from the expo. Fucking, I'm hella jellied the fuck up because that shit is something I heard is going to be fucking special, and it's the right kind of medicine for me based on other conversations. The Organic Panic was the one who fucking recommended that. And it was like, ironically, too. It was like, okay, man, this is definitely some shit I need to get fucking growing. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's got a terrible name, but whatever.
dude, I think it's hella cool.
Oh, Jesus. NorCal
Fuck you,
motherfuckers. Everybody in NorCal uses that godforsaken word, and it's just, fuck, man. Hella is not cool, man. Shit. That's why I firmly
Great, we
stand
just
in the
lost
belief.
all our North California audience.
I don't think we have a single California listener, and
I don't
I've
think we
told
do.
everyone in my family about this podcast. So,
Wait, Budkowski.
yep, none. But I stand on my firm plan that we should separate NorCal and SoCal into 2 states. But we'd argue over who wants Fresno, so it'll never happen. That was a California joke for the 0 listeners we have in California.
I was talking with Mad Hatter, and we were both going over like some analysis numbers for the podcast, and we're like split. Our podcast is split east and west, almost 50-50, dude. It's fucking hilarious.
You know what I was disappointed to find out, seriously? We did not have a single Utah listener.
Huh.
I thought that I would I thought I would resonate with
The Mormons really
Mormons.
well,
Yeah,
huh?
I thought so. They kicked me out of their goddamn church. You think they'd at least listen to an episode or two?
No,
But
I bet you there's not too many pot smoking Mormons.
no, I think they're cool with it now. I think
now
I think
it's
the
allowed.
church.
Oh, because
Dude,
now
they changed
want
their.
it's a medicine now.
Oh yeah. No, they change their mind faster than that. Well, basically, they'll change their mind to any opinion that they can argue is moral and they get money from. I'm sure they'll find a way into the industry, but I don't want to trash my family too much. So,
Fair
but
enough.
yeah. My epic rant of being disappointed that we had no Utah listeners. Nobody wants to hear who fucking listens to our show. There's like 3 of you, so thank you guys. And apparently not a single one of my family, because not a single California listener. Or Utah, and that's like the only places. Although we do have Irish listeners, so thanks, guys.
That's because you're a redhead.
Yeah, I think it's my cousins, to be honest with you.
All the Irish listeners came after the Mad Hatter episode because you were on camera, man. That's when they came, so I'm sure of it. They went, "Oh, he's one of us."
Well, quite literally, they're like, fucking cousin bullshit. That idiot American cousin of ours.
Well, speaking of church, it is Sunday. Why don't you hit us with a sermon?
Oh, shit. I had something that was super prepared. So I'm going to not do that because I've forgotten it. But when I was walking with my dog today, right, I was having a great time just enjoying nature. And I was very stoked that we all get to participate in this community and grow homegrown medicine. And I could only be thankful of the people that came before us. And as our good buddy Krabby always says, we stand on the shoulder of giants. So remember that. We're only here because of the people before us. So don't be a dick. Mind your own business and go with Frog.
Amen.
That's right, dude. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And like Padre said, check us out on YouTube now.
Oh, yeah. And leave a review or subscribe or do something to help our podcast. I'm not really sure how. So do it.
Yeah, do it. Peace.